Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So it's about 3:35. It is May 20th, Tuesday, 23.5 degrees centigrade. My batteries are not right in the sun, 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And let me show you what I'm up to. What I'm trying to do is when I get a fresh engine, I'm trying to test them out real time rather than them, kind of end up on a shelf somewhere and I don't know what their condition is and I'm kind of left scratching my head. You guys remember this is the engine I got, when was it? Sunday. This was missing. That was off. Obviously there was no exhaust pipe on it, so I added those things. I checked the compression and the compression came in at 150 psi, and now I just want to test it to see if it's worthwhile keeping around, or should it become parts. We also discover a few other things when you actually start trying to put things together. You discover if something's all gnarled up or screwed up, so that when you go to put it on a frame, you're not like, oh crap, I should have fixed that. Like, I put the bolts on it to put the exhaust on, and obviously I had no trouble with that. I also bolted a recoil starter on it, all four, and I had no trouble. Those bolt holes were all good. And lastly, when I put the carburetor on it and the intake manifold, those bolts were good. So those are all positives, right? Also, bolting it onto the frame, I'm able to notice if it's got any cracks or anything like that. I checked the oil. The oil's really nasty in there, but it is full. So it's like beyond dying for an oil change. It's like on its knees, taking its last breaths for an oil change. So that is something that will have to happen before this engine's put into service. But I did manage to fire it up. Initially I was having trouble getting it to spark, even with the spark box. So I fussed around with the pulse generator quite a bit, and I had to, the gap had to be really, really tight. It was I literally set it to 2 pieces of paper worth of tight, and when I have to go through a wiring thing afterwards, and I'll go through setting the gap and timing the thing up, because quite honestly, it kept fighting me on the spark. Initially I tried to get it to spark with the OEM ignition system, and she didn't want to spark. Then I put the CDI box on it and it didn't want to spark. So then I went through checking the CDI box, and the CDI box is good. My portable CDI box is good. And then I spent some time, and the gap between here and the coil, that gap there, wait a minute, where's my finger? Yo, finger, where'd you go? There you go. The gap between here and there, very important. So yeah, you set it between the magnet here, right? Very important. So once I got that straightened out, it seems to be firing up. I'll show you that in a second. I have one engine floating around that I messed with forever, and I couldn't get it to fire up. And I thought I set the gap on that. I did have it in and out. I thought I set the gap properly. Perhaps I didn't, which means all that fussing around and screwing around I did was for nothing. It was just a matter of not setting the gap properly. By the way, that makes me an idiot. So, well, let's see what I got, and we'll go on from there. We'll see if this thing will fire up and behave itself. Okay, I think you guys could see things. Making sure the carburetor has gas in it. Turn on the CDI box. Give it a pull. So you guys could see it does run. It's a bit deafening. So yeah, I put a little bit of anti-seize on the bolts. It just makes them easier to get them on the first time. So I went through the trouble doing that. Hopefully I had it in the picture. I put gas from this into the line. Right. I watch people and watch the videos to learn some. Musty One has a little I guess it's like an oiling can that he keeps gas in, and it's got a long hose on it, and he uses that to prime up his carburetors before he attempts to fire them. So anyway, there we are. Obviously it starts, it runs. I haven't run it through all the gears, but I did shift it and the transmission seems good. So this is another winning engine. I gave the guy out there in Montague, I gave him $125. So a typical running engine, you're not really going to get one to your house for under like $150. It's just, heck, the postage on the damn things are the major part of $100. It's hard to get postage on one of these engines for much under, you know, 75. So the engine alone was worth what I paid for him. The plastic and the seat, the plastic's in really nice shape, and the seat is definitely in a fixable condition. So the seat would be worth probably $50 in its current condition, and the plastic probably another $50. What else did I get? The rear end, he kind of screwed the hell out of that. That's really about worthless. So I think I did okay. Basically I got a good engine reasonable, and then I got the plastic and seat more or less for free. So I'm very, very happy with the deal from the person in Montague. All right, I'm gonna get that thing back up on the bench. I'm gonna pull the recoil cover, and I'm gonna show you guys how to time it up. I'm gonna show you guys how I set the gap. And then I have a 200S wiring harness over there. I'm gonna put it on, and so that'll kind of be one video, and then the next video will be me trying to fire it up on the 200S wiring harness. Hopefully she fires right up and runs, which does two things for me. It tells me I already know the engine's in good shape, but it tells me that wiring harness is in good shape, and that's definitely what I want to know. All right, folks, remember, live, love, and have a great time. Remember to keep your feet down, your head up, and thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you all shortly. Bye now.